I'm investigating a phone call.
Police?
Listen, he's gonna kill me.
How can I help?
They made an allegation. It was an old case that you'd worked.
A long time ago, my boyfriend, he stabbed her.
You are aware that he confessed.
What if he's innocent?
That case was investigated fairly.
What is he hiding?
Do you know the difference between order and chaos?
Are you going to stop me?
Yeah.
¿Qué ver? Con Mavi Ganji.
I originally saw the trailer and I was like, this is something I will watch. Can you tell us how the original idea of this show came up?
I think originally I was sort of I was sort of fascinated by the idea of people who confess to crimes and retract those confessions, and how that comes about. That was just a very embryonic idea, though, I have to add. So, I mean, you know, I originally spoke to Paul about this, and Paul completely, you know, took it and ran with it. He's the writer. And also Kush and Peter, I knew them both, and we'd been talking about maybe developing a show for them. So it was quite organic.
Where do you get the inspiration to start writing and writing and writing?
You know, I don't know. That's it's normally perspiration, not inspiration. But you know, I you know, for me, I hand on heart, I love Kush and Peter as actors. So the opportunity to kind of write with them and for them felt so great, and in a way, it kind of imposed a simplicity on the form of the story. So that you know, I just love the idea of these two characters who are police officers with very different personal experience, different lives, different generations, and different worldviews, and they are looking at the same case through these different lenses. We've seen so many police dramas which have two cops at the center, but this was more like a duel. You know, in a way, I suppose the show is the journey that they go on is they are journeying to a point where they're asking, can we find common ground? Can we work together on this thing? That feels like something that long form television does really well. You know, that sort of those long, slow character development. So, yeah, that was the dream.
And you did it. It's a reality right now. I think so.
Thank you.
No.
Thanks very much for getting us started.
No,
I want every
not-
scrap
that's-
of paper here itemized and accounted for.
Sir.
I'm going to take the carpets up.
Sir, I was the first respondent. This is mine.
I'm sorry, dear Slanka, not this time.
I have an email from ACC Claudia Mayhew. It sets out the chain of command.
What will be something that you think that is common in this two, besides of being cops? What they have in common, your characters?
Well, I think
they've both got short hair.
Yes.
No, joking. I think actually there is more about them that is similar than different. Yes, there's the fact that they're cops, although they have come through the system at totally different times, generationally. But I think it's more that when June meets Hecate, she is magnetized towards the way that he does things. He does things precisely, and he does them when he wants to do them, which to her looks like he kind of doesn't really think about the consequences. And without realizing it, I think she starts to mirror that behavior as time goes on. And she starts to do things because she's not getting anywhere doing things the right way. I think she starts to do things, you know, to try to get things done in different ways. Yeah.
I think he also recognizes in her something of himself and recognizes that her reasons for becoming a detective are similar to his, which is at a very deep level a desire to help, which I see most clearly when I love all the scenes in which Kush is in danger. And when she rushes to people's rescue, or when she's been beaten up.
He loves those ones.
No, I don't particularly. But I mean, I do, because she plays them with such spirit and clarity. I can see very clearly that this is a character who wants to, at a very core, help people.
I know that this came up as an original idea, talking with the writer, but why do you want it to be part of it?
I think because it was just, I knew that with Paul writing it and Elaine producing it and Kush being in it, it was going to be a really good project. And also the idea of doing a smart crime thriller in London, you know, which uses London as a backdrop and as a character, that really excites me.
Yeah, I mean, anything you do in London is tricky, and it was two main things for me. One was that I was desperate to work with Peter again. I find him to be one of the most intelligent, complex actors I've ever worked with. Very subtle, very understated, and you can see him thinking when you work opposite him, which is what makes this character so hard, because he doesn't want you to know what he's thinking. But Peter underneath is always thinking so much, which makes it very frustrating for June, the character, but brilliant for me, the actress.
There are things that nobody teaches you. Sometimes you have to go the extra mile. There's no shame in that. We got our man.
No, you've got a confession.
We need to cover our backs. She's got it in for us.
I think he wants to fight. I can do that.
That's the game. Collateral damage. Do you know the difference between order and chaos?
Are you going to stop me?
Yeah.
¿Qué ver? Con Mavi Ganji.